y'all monkey asses doing? How y'all doing? Y'all good? I will get on camera in a second. Still, I thought I had all my sites up and everything organized that I wanted to reference with you guys, but I don't. I had some last minute stuff. I had some last minute husband shit to do. So I didn't get to prepare like I wanted. With the time markers, because my wife needed me for something. So I'm kind of doing two things at once, trying to get things right. That's why I say I apologize for being late. Let me see what song we gonna play. Yeah, we gonna play that. Got the little Nights Over Egypt sample. But anyway, all right. Let me just go ahead and get focused in. We got a special report today. Today's a special report. And I wanted to talk. I was going to do some more talk about music and the whole situation with Drake and Kendrick. But this is more important. This topic is far more important. It came to me first off. Again, thank you, chat room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 15% off everything at DeWanB.com. Make sure y'all do that. 15% off everything at DeWanB.com. Everything is 15% off at DeWanB.com. Breakthrough cards for card readings. All card readings are 25% off for Black Friday. And all courses and classes are 35% off in my website this week only. Okay? So let's get that out the way. And then in a little bit, I'm going to call someone, Mr. Burke, Byron Burke. Here's what we talking about today. I was watching, it's crazy how things come together. I was watching Pink Book Lessons yesterday. I love her daily posts. I was watching her channel, and she had these people from Chicago Red, Flip Chicago Red. And Flip Chicago Red, if you guys don't know, is a group out in Chicago that's going down to these meetings, and they're talking to the city council, and they're speaking up, talking about the migrant crisis that's affecting the residents of Chicago. These were the people that were vocal in Mayor Brandon Johnson's $300 million tax hike proposal getting denied because of these black residents in Chicago that go by Flip Chicago Red. So I've been paying attention to this group for the last year and a half. But because it'd be some they be saying some interesting, great things at these city council meetings. And for those you don't know who that is, that's this group right here. If y'all haven't seen them, Chicago Flips Red. I said Flip Chicago Red. Chicago Flips Red. That's the name of the group. And here's a picture of them right here that I got off the internet. And they're very socially conscious, and you see them all around on Twitter and on IG. If you and on YouTube, if you're seeing it, and they're going to these city council meetings and they're talking about how let me give you an example. This is an example of some of the things we've seen them talking about.
Obviously, a one-term mayor, if he even makes it that far, you better be worrying about your job. Oh. You better be worrying about your longevity, because we're going to vote and we're going to get you out because you ain't doing right by us. That's what time it is.
Chicagoans furious.
You got a lot of people in Chicago that are on that vibe right now, you know, and so, you know, they're talking about the migrants being flipped out and kicked, coming in and replacing the black people of Chicago. And I'm looking at me, huh? And so I was watching Pink Book Lessons yesterday, and this sister spoke. I'm going to play some of this, and then it transitioned to a conversation I had this morning with Kendall. And she was letting me know our brother Byron Burke, he is dealing with some issues right now with this whole migrant situation in Chicago. It's affecting people like him directly. And you know me, I'm a music head. You know, so when I hear things that affect my people, I you know, black and also just musicians, it gets to me. Byron's from the group 10 City that was in Chicago, one of the earlier groups, big breakout groups that made music, house music that went outside of the boundaries of Chicago. You know, he's dealing with this right now. When he was needing some help, they were sending him to, let me see here. When he needed help, they're sending him to, they're basically asking him, are you a migrant? And I'm like, hold on, we got a black person that's going to some of these places and they're prioritizing migrants over him. And who in the hell is calling me? I didn't say call in. Let me take that shit down. I didn't know I had it up. God damn it, don't call in unless I say to call in. Shit. So, but we know I want to we're going to have him call in a little bit. We're going to talk about the situation. But first, I want to play this video that I saw earlier about some of the things going on in Chicago.
Meet the count.
And this is from Pink Book Lessons.
This is who need to get canceled. We need to cancel D.L. Hughley. We need to cancel Roland Martin. We need to cancel Steve Harvey. We need to cancel Plass. Everybody who tried to lead us into a burning building. We're Chicago Red. We are all over the media, all over everywhere. See, this is what we are going through, telling our story. Jessica Jackson telling how the Democrat Party is stealing people's property. Zoe Lee, time and time again, we have been on every council meeting talking about showing how the Democrat Party, especially in Chicago, is stealing black people property, how they are putting all these illegals in our neighborhood, pushing us out of our homes, and giving them all the resources, all on the backs of trying to tax us.
That part right there. And go to Pink Book Lessons on YouTube. She funny as hell. I think like her review, I love her takes. She got me laughing. She be having me laughing well, she's not Pink Book Lessons. She's a person in Chicago. Pink Book is a reaction channel, a pretty big reaction channel too. So what am I telling y'all for? Y'all probably know her more than y'all know me. God damn it, shit. Anyway, she posted this on her page, and we see here this lady here. I don't know her name, but she's from Chicago Flips Red. She's talking about how black residents are literally getting their properties stolen. And they're doing things to illegally and quasi-legally push black residents out for migrants to come into the city. One second. One second. I'm texting my guy right now. Okay. So basically, what's happening right now is they're evicting black people for the littlest of things, because what's going on in Chicago is landlords are getting more money for housing migrants. And so I heard this sister say this, and I was like, damn. And then I talked on the phone with Kendall this morning, and she was like, yeah, I know somebody that's going through that. I'm like, huh? So I wanted to speak to him. I wanted to speak to him and get the story. You know, somebody who's given us so much musically, you know, giving his heart and soul to, because you're asking, okay, why does music matter? because you cannot get through life without a song. And the songs that the originators of our sounds create, they help get through people through their day. They help get Americans through our days. You know what I mean? They put money into the economy. Italian and white and Latino landowners and club promoters get to make money off the music that comes out of our minds. These people create a product that you don't have to drill for. You don't have to build. You don't need a product. You don't need money. You just need an open channel and an open spirit and an ability to play an instrument. And you create something that's going to be around that undergirds this country, undergirds this economy, and does so much good for the people. We got all that, and the people who make these sounds, the people who do these things, they end up screwed up, and then you're going to prioritize people who have no generations of taxes being paid on this land over our people. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. So I'm about to get him on the phone right now. And I'm definitely going to ask you guys to most definitely contribute to the band's Cash App. I'm going to put it up here on the screen pretty soon. Because this ain't right what they doing to our people. This is not right. And so...
Hello.
Hey, Byron, how you doing? This is Dwan.
Hey, Dwan, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
We hear you
fine. Can you hear me okay?
Audience, can y'all hear him? Yeah, I hear you good.
Good.
Before, and this is, and the audience, this is from me. Okay, I want y'all to get on camera real quick. This is from me, not Byron. I got on this. I need you guys, this is from me, to bless our brother, please. This was my request, because I'm like, no. I don't like this goddamn story, and we gotta support our people. What's your Cash App? You didn't even know I was gonna ask you your Cash App. Before we get started, what's your Cash App?
My Cash App is the $, then Popa, the capital P, the capital P, lowercase O, P, A, then uppercase U, lowercase r, then uppercase M, then lowercase a, and the number 1. So again, that's the $, capital P, lowercase o, lowercase p, lowercase a, uppercase U as in ukulele, lowercase r as in Robert, uppercase M as in Mary, lowercase a as in apple, lowercase a as in apple, and the number 1.
Got it. I wanted to take care of business first so I wouldn't forget, you know. And so it's a POPA, right?
Yes, yeah, POPA. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's Popa Urma'a. That's my comedic name.
Got you. So, Popa, give us a little bit of your background. We're gonna get into the story, what's going on. Give us a little bit of your background musically and the house scene in Chicago, and tell us a little bit about your time. You know, are you from Chicago?
Yeah, originally from Chicago. So most people know me from the music industry as Byron Burke, and I'm one of the founders and members of the group 10 City. We did That's the Way Love Is, Right Back to You, That's the Way Love Is, and recognized as one of the pioneers of house music from Chicago. And in 2021 was nominated for a Grammy for Best Dance Album.
Okay. So yeah, so you're Chicago through and through.
Yes.
Yeah, been in Chicago, and is your family from Chicago too?
Yeah, everybody's from Chicago.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about a Chicago resident through and through. Can you talk to us about what's going on right now in Chicago as far as the housing situation and what's going on in with this migrant situation? I'm hearing you guys are getting, the black residents are having to pay literally, and there's no space for black residents because everything's like going towards the migrants. Can you talk to us about that?
There is nothing for black people in Chicago. Let me tell you, when you had the whole border issue and Mayor Brandon, I can't recall the exact dollar amount that he received, but they spent millions of dollars on immigrants getting not only housing, but when they got here, they put them in all the top hotels in Chicago, giving them vehicles. They're getting like anywhere between $4,000 to maybe $7,000 a month for their pocket. When it deals with the food pantry, because with the lack of jobs in Chicago and dealing with the situation in regards to getting support from the city, all the immigrants are getting all of that support. And in the homeless situation here is just it's ridiculous. It's horrifying. It makes no sense on. Taxpayers are paying all this money and receiving no benefits, especially the black community. It's horrific. Horrific.
So it's because I'm here in Chicago, got $160 million from the state. Mayor tried to raise $300 million that they turned down. Out of all that money that they have and all these migrants that they're welcoming and saying they're going to allow here, you mean to tell me there's nothing left, like nothing for you guys?
No. I mean, you got to go through hoops and hurdles and backflips just to get anything. And I just recalling, dealing with my situation, they were like, well, if you're an immigrant, we can help you out, get housing. But if you're not an immigrant, you got to go through this whole process and everything. And it's sad. It's really sad that people who have worked hard to make a living, try to take care of their families, be a blessing to others, that you had to go through all this trauma and suffering just to get a penny or to even get an appointment. It's bad. So I don't like it at all.
And when did you notice a change? Do you notice it's change? Has it been this way for a long time? Or did you notice change after 2021 when these people started coming over?
After 2021, things really began to take a significant change. I mean, outside of COVID, COVID had its own set of difficulties. But like I said, after 2021, it just made it really hard for anyone who would have normally gotten support to get support. Like, it's just bad. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And we need more voices to speak up about this. Like I said, you have people paying, working hard, paying their taxes, and then those tax dollars are going to others. And again, I believe that we should help those that we can help out, but take care of home first. You can't take care of home, it's a problem. And I'm fed up with it. Totally.
What in your opinion, what do you see as far as the temperament of the residents of Chicago? Are people just like not paying attention to black folks, or do you see people becoming more aware? What's the tone like in Chicago right now?
It's very tense. In fact, there's been a couple of times where I had to stand in line in the food pantry, and those who immigrated over here, they would get in line. Then they would have the other friends or family members to cut in line, to try to get, ahead of everybody else. And then those that have been waiting in line, ready to have a fight. Like, wait a minute, man, you take your butt back to where you came from. It's getting like that here. Fights breaking out. Matter of fact, a fight broke out last week on the same issue. It just makes no sense. And again, I understand that America's supposed to be the melting pot, and we want to be a blessing to help others. But again, if you're not taking care of your own people, your homegrown people, and you're treating them like a ninth grade citizen, it makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
So you're having to deal with, the traditional ways that could help people that needed a hand. Now you got these people that cutting lines, they're starting fights. What about the hospitals? Like, how has the hospital services been since all this has been going on?
The hospital services, if you don't have, top insurance, they will, just give you the bare minimal treatment and try to push you out, or they won't even accept you.
They won't even what?
They won't even accept you. They've turned a lot of people away who needed help. They're like, well, if you don't have insurance, Medicaid or Medicare or anything like that, we can't help you. It's like that here.
So they're turning away American citizens, but I'm sure when you go, you're seeing people who aren't American citizens in there. I'm sure. I'm just guessing.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, again, I'm not racist or anything like that, but I mean, if you look at the medical staff population, they're Indian, Asian. You have a few blacks or whatever, and it's preferential treatment to those. I mean, even thinking about right now, I'm on the north side of Chicago, and I walk past this one, like when you're dealing with what do you call heating units and installing the ventilation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now this area, it's a large Hispanic area. They have I don't know how much money they spent on this school, but it's an amazing trade school. It's called Tesla air conditioning or something like that. Amazing. Uh-huh. And this is something that the black community can catch. Because I mean, you look at those that are building houses now, it's mainly Hispanic, or those are foreigners or whatever. But as far as those trade jobs that we used to do, it's not even available for the black community. And if you're not a friend or part of that community, just like, oh no, get out of here, So it's bad again that you have those from other countries, whether it's like I said, from the Asian culture, the Hispanic culture, the Arab culture. When they come in from a different country, the government gives them money. They can go in and set up a gas station, a bodega, anything like that, and we can't even do that. We can't get support to even start up a business and stuff. And then when we do try to start a business, it's a problem. Even thinking about the organization of black women that were trying to raise money to help women fund their startup companies. And I can't think of the gentleman's name, but he's going to the government protesting. Well, it's not right. They're only accepting black people, and it's not fair, and shut that whole thing down. So it's like, what do we have to do to get ahead? What do we have to do to get ahead, to take care of ourselves or whatever? And looking at, if it wasn't for our community, none of these businesses would be operating, because black people are the biggest consumers. And then to treat us like, again, ninth grade citizens is a slap in the face.
I want to go back to something you said earlier. You said there's like a Tesla factory where they're doing basically like Tesla batteries, and they're the school to train this trade, and basically they're telling the black people to bug off.
Yeah, I walked past it the other day, and I was there. It's like I said, it's the HVAC, dealing with like the
HVAC,
for ventilation and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's geared towards those individuals who are of the same nationality, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But again, when it comes to seeing anyone African descent or whatever, nothing, absolutely nothing.
I got a question, because
I wonder why. Go ahead.
I got a question, because I see how it is here in LA, and I want to see if it's the same in Chicago. When you see Asian or mostly primarily Latin manual labor businesses, do they hire black people?
Very rare. Very rare. And because matter of fact, one of my buddies, not only is he's a chef, but he's also an amazing carpenter and everything. And I know he approached several individuals that were doing work, matter of fact, he's part of the union, the union, and they were like, "No, buddy, sorry, we'll keep you in mind," and and giving him no love. So just that in itself, like I said, is just like, wow, I don't believe this. It's like they don't want us to progress. They don't want us to come together for the fear of what they did to us, we'll do to them. And that's not our nature. Our nature as Black people was loving, caring. But if you put us in a situation where we have to fend for ourselves, that's a different story. Which even you're looking at, they want us to be in the space of selling drugs or, making our women look bad by dressing, being half naked. So like they want to keep that conversation going. They want to keep that narrative going. And it makes it hard for someone who may be in a position that can help, but because of those visuals and those images, you're automatically tagged as being stupid, ignorant, and unworthy and untrustworthy.
See, and these are the people that are saying that. And then I hear you saying, man, like we don't push that stuff the way they push it on us, man. Black folks, we want everything to be cool, but when you're dealing with a situation like this, to where even you have a Black mayor in the Black dominant city, and the Black people that need the resources not being able to get it, and then now you have these schools that are training for the new jobs of the future, and they're making it tough on Black people to participate to get in. Where do you go? And so, oh my God, that's why I wanted to. I'm glad you called in today, because I just saw this story like just in the last day, but I've been sort of watching different people in Chicago. It seems from LA, it seems as if a lot of Chicago residents are really waking up and speaking out a lot more. And then hearing, Kendall and Aton, they talk about you. They told me just lightly the scenario. I said, no. We gotta talk about this, because we have to be our own media around the country. Even though I'm not in Chicago, and what happens in Chicago don't directly affect me, it still affects me. It affects all of us, and we gotta raise awareness. And I'd rather have somebody that's there on the ground let us know. You see his Cash App, please don't donate nothing to me today. Don't send me nothing. Whatever you were going to send me, double that and send it to him, please. Because I've been wanting to hear from someone in Chicago, seeing what's going on, because we got to get this word out there, man. Is there anything that you wanted to say to the people? We got over 500 people listening right now. Make sure y'all share this and promote this. Make sure y'all share this on your socials. Over 500 people listening. Anything you want to tell the people right now that we need to know?
I mean, just looking at the last thing you said is that we have to come together and unify. It's not. We're at the point where it's make it happen or die. And looking at decades ago when we had Black Wall Street, everybody came together. We kept the money within the community, support each other's businesses, and everything. And we're at that state now that we have to do it, because the media is controlled by the Jewish community. I had to say it. And again, if we don't take the initiative, if we don't make those on the front line to support each other, we're gonna be we're already in a sad position as it is right now. But we have to come together. Like I said, what I just dealt with. I've been working on several projects trying to get the money together and everything. And the landlord like, okay, Byron, you got to get out of here. Told me on Saturday evening, you got to be out here by Monday. What? By Monday?
By Monday?
He's not following any rules in regards to. Yeah, I'm on the streets right now, literally on the streets. Here it is, and no support from the freaking house community. Knowing I'm dealing with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016. I don't like to ask for help. I give. Like I said, this project I'm working on, landlord's like, no, bro, you gotta get out of here. So put me out on. I had to leave out on Monday.
So
was in the hospital, So it's this. I'm out here. You hear the train?
Yeah.
There's a train going by.
You were told on Saturday to be out by Sunday, and
So I've been out since I was out since Monday. I'm out right now.
Just what the sister was talking about on Chicago Flips Red. She literally was saying there are black people being literally kicked out of their places and replaced because the city's paying so much more for migrant shelter. They're kicking. So you're wow. And
you heard the train go by.
Yeah. Wow.
Out here.
And no help from the house community.
Out here. No help. Zero. Matter of fact, with 10 City, we did our last show November 4th of 94 in Hamburg, Germany. And then I reconnected with the guys in, I want to say, 2015. We did an event. It was Kings and Queens of House Music at the House of Blues. And I just recently ran the Byron Stingley this past July. Matter of fact, July 6th at the NASCAR was here in Chicago. They're like, oh man, I got these things I'm working on, and bring you in. Come to find out, they just did a 10 City and Friends event this past Friday at the Metro. Oh, okay. You want to get together and do something, but you won't contact me. That's cool. That's fine.
And you know what?
And the biggest song that 10 City's Moneymaker, That's the Way Love Is, that's the one I wrote. So he's still performing, off my
song
stuff.
You wrote.
But it's cool.
And
yeah.
I don't think it's cool because I see this time and time again. It's the innovators of our genres, the people who really on the earlier levels before it goes around the world and gets into these massive clubs. Whether you're talking about house, funk, hip hop, they create these things that the rest of the world then takes and samples and does things and move, and these organisms, these sounds move on. But the people who create the stuff from the scratch generally are not taken care of. And look, we live in an evil society, so okay, I get it. Certain people ain't gonna take care of people, but when it comes to the music, I remember Bernie Worrell dying from Parliament Funkadelic. He died of a preventable form of cancer, and I was seeing all these hip hop people who sampled his keyboard licks couldn't put in. So many people in our art, the artists just sort of just take and take and take and don't give back and don't make sure those who are around that we all take a little bit from are taken care of. And I think that's a cursed position to be in as a people, as a community. That's not a position that I'm not proud of us culturally in a lot of ways. So that's why, even though
no, I'm not either.
I'm not. So I'm like, I heard your story, man. Like you said, I heard your story about 4 hours ago. Like, we gotta talk about I gotta do something, So I need you guys to please donate to this Cash App you see right here on the screen. POPAURMAA1 $ Cash App, because we have to take care of our community. If you got $5, $10, $1, 5,000, whatever you got, please. Because this is happening in real time. And, the least we can do is what we can do, And I'm gonna put it at that. So, whatever you want to say to the people, you can leave them with a word or whatever you want to say. Let us know, and then we'll be checking back in with you, okay? But go ahead, whatever you want to close it out with.
Well, I mean, it's not only about me, but if you see anybody in need, be a blessing, because it'll come back too. It's I really don't talk about struggles, but dealing with this cancer is really difficult because I'm dealing with the numbness on both of my feet. Well, the type of cancer I have is called multiple myeloma. So if you can envision termites inside of wood eating everything from the inside out, that's the type of cancer I have. So my body is producing too much protein. So like your average protein level should be, I think, between 4 and 7, but mine's like at 14, 15%. So my white blood, I'm producing too many white blood cells. So and those cells actually deal with getting rid of bad cells and everything like that. But because it's too much, it's becoming toxic. So like I said, it's affecting the numbness in my feet, my leg. I was in the hospital yesterday for emergency. My hip is all messed up. It's just bad. And then I got to get medication. My snap got cut off. So I'm like, boy, and when it gets rough, it gets past rough. Yeah. So been staying in the storage room. It's bad. It's bad. Bad, man.
Well,
I'm tired of crying. I'm so tired. I'm tired of crying.
Yeah. Well, you stick in there, man, and we gonna do the best we can do. So, please make sure y'all hit that brother's Cash App and give the most you could possibly give, and I appreciate y'all for that. I don't want nothing. Don't send me shit. I'm telling y'all right now, or if you do send me something, I'm sending it right over to this brother. So, make sure y'all get that done. We gotta, and plus on top of that, people, everybody, we all go through some shit, man. And people go through different levels of shit. And we got to be there for our brothers and sisters when it's their turn, because when it's our turn, we definitely gonna be looking for that help. So it's best to pay it forward and open up your mind and open up your heart. Go ahead. Did you have anything else you want to say?
I just want to say thank you for everyone that's listening, supporting you. Those who sent, I got a few gifts coming in. Was it Noah Randall? Thank you so much. My screen's acting weird. But Noah sent some money. Thank you so much, Mr. Randall.
It's all good, man.
Rick said something. Thank you for $20. Thank you so much. I just think I thank you for taking time out to allow me on your show and to speak to your listeners and everything. I know in a minute I'm about to break down, start crying because I was like, Lord, I've gone through so much, yeah. and I don't consider myself to be anybody special. I'm human like everybody else. I was just fortunate enough to follow my dreams at the risk of getting kicked out the house because my dad found out.
Yeah,
it's funny. My dad didn't find out that he didn't find out. He didn't know I had to do the 6th and 9th grade over until he retired. Because
that's crazy.
My whole thing was music. Music was my passion, and I've always said I want to make it in music, not to be successful, but to do something that's a creative form that will make people happy because it made me happy. For me, because as a child I dealt with depression and being molested at the age of 5.5 by a family member. So music was my way to give me happiness and joy. So to be able to create something that touch, move, and inspire people is a blessing. And again, I thank you. And go ahead.
I have one question because they asked me in the chat, and my payment just got sent back. Do you have a Zelle account or you get anything else other than Cash App?
I don't have Zelle. I have I got Chime and I got PayPal.
What's your PayPal? I'll put your PayPal in here too. What's your PayPal?
Okay, so with the PayPal, all right, so it's a long one because I think you got to use the email address.
Yeah.
So that would be
Well, do this.
T-O.
Do this. Text me the PayPal when we get off the phone. Text it to me, and I'll put it in my system. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll have it here on the screen for the rest of the show.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Matter of fact, I do that. I think there's a way I could do it with the chime.
Okay.
I'll send both of them. I know I do the PayPal, but I'll try to send both of them.
Text me both, and I'll put it right here on the screen for the rest of the show, man. But thanks for giving us your time, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you and all your listeners.
No problem, man. You have a good one.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. That's Brother Byron Burke. From the group 10 City, Chicago house from the 90s. But I heard that story. And brother has cancer, and this was right on the heels of me watching this Pink Book story this morning. Like, oh hell nah! Like, I wish I could. I can't do everything, but I'm gonna do what I can do. We can't do everything. We can't solve everybody's everything, but we all can do something. And sometimes your something is just $2. Hey, at least look like this. If all you can give is $2, at least it'll cover his instant cash out fee. At least it'll cover the instant. You know, you had a little instant cash out. That little bullshit fee they like charging. If all you got is $2, at least that'll cover his fee. Tennessee Williams, I appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, Cash App is foul. My payment got rejected too. For those of you whose payments are getting rejected, just give it some time. My payment got rejected too. So let's just give it time. You know, these little bullshit ass apps like playing. They probably like, what this nigga doing getting some money? So what we gonna do, if your payment's being rejected, he's about to text me his PayPal. I'm gonna post the PayPal. And if your payment gets rejected, just wait till tomorrow or the next day. But make sure you put that money up in there. Please, 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 please. Because we all can do something. We all can. And I'm telling you now, that was not his idea. That wasn't, Kendall, no one told me. This was me. This was me saying, oh, fuck nah. He wasn't asking for nothing. This is because we have to. This is because this is the right thing to do. That's what this is about. Some shit you gotta do because it's the right thing to do. And this is one of them. And this is one of them. And when he texts me his PayPal, I'm gonna post it up here, okay? Some of y'all went through, some got rejected. Okay. Yeah. Also, so we're gonna get more into what's going on in Chicago. And this is for all of us, man. Like, one thing we gotta stop as a people is all this regional beefing. Talk a little bit of shit. Why not? Talking shit is fun. But when I be hearing people saying, man, you only deal with this kind of racism in the South. You only deal with this kind of racism in Boston. You don't, people in Milwaukee don't know what it really is. These people in Seattle don't know what it is. Man, shut the fuck up. If you black, you dealing with bullshit in this country. Racism, white supremacy operates in a fashion that's most conducive for its environment. That's what people have to understand. Racism, white supremacy operates in a fashion that's most conducive for its environment. LA, this is Hollywood. This is the land of glitz and glamour. California, so the racism out here gotta be shh. We gonna kill these niggas, but make it slow and do it with a smile on your face. Arizona racism is, fuck you nigga, we from Mississippi. Mississippi racism is in front of your face. Chicago racism is extremely segregated and in front of your face. Racism rears its ugly head in whatever way it can get away with in its environment. So having black people going around talking about something, you don't know what racism is. I'm from Alabama. I know what racism is. Man, shut your country ass up. Everybody deal with this shit. Okay, I just got the PayPal information. Let me see here. Let me type it in. Yeah. Let me see. I hope it's spelled right. I hope this is spelled right. Hold on. Let me see. Let me make sure that email. I think that dash, what I got in the text message, I think they put that dash in there. Let me see if that dash is real. Cause I think that's a text message thing. Let me send an email. Let me send a test email. If it don't pop back, then we good. I just sent a test email. Let me see here. 1 second. No, yeah, that wasn't. So it's no dash. Yeah, that shit just came back. Let me make sure. Yeah. I'm doing two things at once, y'all. This is what happened when you don't have a fucking producer, all right? You gotta do it all yourself. I think that was an iPhone dash. I think that was an iPhone dash in there. I think that was an iPhone dash. And let me send this test email. Before I send cash apps, I send test emails. What the fuck got one of my goddamn tenants calling me? Let me see here. Send that test. There we go. I got one of my tenants calling me. Unit 16. I'm not answering your call right now. Anyway. Let me see here. Did it go through? Yep. Okay, no dash. No dash. No dash. No dash. No dash. So this is it. I sent a test email and it came back. So this is it right here. Appreciate that, Neek. Appreciate the super chat. But like now, when we gotta mobilize quick when it comes to our people, man. Like, what are we doing here? They not gonna help us, then we gonna help us. Fuck them. Period. They not gonna help us, then we gonna help us. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about what these people ain't doing, and if I ain't willing to do it myself, you dig? But what this sister's talking about is real, and I want you guys to go to subscribe to Pink Book Lessons and listen to this story, because what she said in the first 50 seconds of this video is literally what this brother's going through right now. So, what I need y'all also to do, is if you see it pinned at the top of the chat. Intellectual power. I love it. I almost was about to cuss. Cause like this intellectual power right here, when it comes to like my mental acuity, This is it. This intellectual power. We got the website pinned. This is some of the best stuff to keep your mind sharp, to keep your mind right, and to keep your mind grooving. I want y'all to know that I swear by this product. I've been taking it now since September or August. August or September. I was taking summertime, nigga. It was still hot as hell outside when it was August. I started taking this in August. And it is some of the best stuff that I've ever used for my memory and my mental acuity. Y'all see, and y'all know me. Y'all know how I am with my mental acuity. I gots to be sharp. Y'all see, I don't be taking notes for this show. I do this show mostly off the top of my head. And products like intellectual power help with that. So go to intellectual power, and the website is in the description. It's also pinned to the top right here. But now I want to ask the next question. What is wrong with Chicago? You said it does the job, Divine Feminine. Hell yeah, it does the job. Yeah. Man, so you take it? Yeah. If y'all have ordered intellectual power before, press the number 1. This shit is crazy dope. Doesn't y'all that right now? This is crazy dope. You said yes, it does. Yeah. So, but I want to ask the next question. What is wrong with Chicago? What's wrong with Chicago? See, they can use Chicago as an example when it comes to all the shootings. They can talk about Chicago when it comes to what's wrong. And I want to make something very clear to black people. Chicago, and listen to me very clear. Don't reply to me with no small dick insecure bullshit when I say what I have to say about your little punk ass city. Chicago is the capital of Black America. Let me say that again. Chicago is the capital of Black America, especially Black in the North. And why do I say that? I say that because in white supremacist society, Chicago is the bellwether they use to test the temperature of Black America. When King marched in Chicago and he didn't get much support in the 1960s, and that was King's first really big failure, they for the most part knew black people had gotten comfortable. And civil rights movement was for the most part over. Chicago is where A. Philip Randolph and a lot of your early civil rights movements of the 1920s and 30s were organized in Chicago. It's the reason why the Nation of Islam is in Chicago. Chicago is the barometer. That's the temperature of Black America right there in Chicago. So when you hear these white media pundits say, okay, what's wrong with Chicago? What about Chicago? If you notice, when they talk about blacks, if you notice, they're very quick to say, well, what about Chicago? Black on black crime in Chicago. In white supremacist society, if you don't want to sound racist and say black, you say Chicago. Chicago is synonymous with black. That's why you got to ask yourself questions. Why do they always say, what about crime in Chicago? Hell, Baltimore got crime. St. Louis got crime. Memphis got crime. Atlanta got, everybody got crime. Why is Chicago the go-to phrase for all these people? It's because in the dominant society, like I said before, Chicago is the code word for black. You got to understand this. And so what happens is you have these kind of conversations, and then you'll hear somebody say, it's more black people in Memphis than Chicago. It's not about what you think, you fucking idiot. It's about different places are used. Like when they talk about white people, that they speak in a certain code, and not just with us, with themselves. Upper Northeast liberals. You're talking about the Massachusetts, New York area. Lower New York, not upstate New York. California liberals. That's a code word for a style of white person. Southern rednecks. That's a style of they use regions and cities to describe people. That's how this country's always operated. Some nigga said Atlanta's become a code word for LGBTQ. Y'all stupid. But Chicago was founded by a black man. Chicago's a very important area of trade and of industry and of mood and temperature for the United States. So Chicago has been purposely suppressed and depressed by the dominant society. Remember back, I think it was 2011, it was about 100 some odd schools had shut down in Chicago? Remember that? Yeah, Chicago's the most segregated city in America. That's why Chicago, black power in Chicago is harshly policed. And when it comes to all those shootings, especially them shootings that was going on in the 2010s, I was like, why all these shootings only happen on weekends? Last I checked, thugs don't wait till Saturday to do they do. I've always suspected it's been outside groups coming into the inner city in Chicago with black people face masks on, doing a lot of them shootings. Hey, let's use this idiot as an example that just made a comment. He said Chicago has 60 black people dying every weekend. Okay. And people get murdered every day in America, B. Why are you isolating it to black people? Second of all, it ain't no 60 a weekend that are dying. But let's just say your number is right. And 60 black people are dying in Chicago every week. Okay. Well, it's roughly, let me put my calculator out. 800, let me divide. 60 divided by 800,000. It's 800,000 black Chicago residents, 60 die in a weekend. That means 799,000 40 are living every weekend? Why do the 940 black people who are living every weekend have to be judged by the 60 that are dying every weekend? Tell me how that makes sense. And tell me how that makes you look smart. You sound like a child of incest with stupid ass comments like that. Yeah, you're right. It ain't no 60 people dying every weekend. But if it was 60 people dying every weekend, what about the other 800,000? They're not supposed to get resources, and they're not supposed to get attention and love because 60 are dying? And if 60 are dying, why are they? Where are the convictions? There's a lot of money being spent on police. How many of those murders are being solved? And if those murders aren't being solved, why are the police too inept to solve the murders? Got to ask these questions. And then you have to ask after that, okay, there's 60 murders a weekend. Okay. What are the motivating factors for the murders? Are they gang related? Are they drug related? Because if the murders are gang or drug related, that's an easy solution. People go into gangs and drugs when they don't have opportunity. You can take a gun out of a gang member's hand. You can take the gun out of a drug dealer's hand with sufficient opportunities in life that can help them advance and grow and make a family. So since Chicago has these new HVAC factories coming in that are hiring Latinos or picking them to be, why not put these drug dealers and gang members in these places of education that can educate them to live a life of substance? Because no one wakes up in the morning wanting to die to make a few dollars. Anyone willing to risk it all to make a few dollars is somebody that's willing to work. So you can solve those issues by giving these people opportunities to work. So you gotta think deeper. You can't just be some coon ass nigga going around thinking just because you all right that the next person is fucked up. Matter of fact, you ain't that hot. And that you ain't no hell of a nigga. If the only thing you can do is come into a chat room and talk about the people who are victims of a system that's designed to push people to those conclusions. Matter of fact, I personally think it's a miracle that 1,000 black people aren't dying every weekend in Chicago, given what they're going through. That shows we some bad motherfuckers. We some good-hearted, good-natured, kind people. If only 60 are dying in a weekend, shit. All the shit that we going through. Man, go back to the roaring 20s. Murder rates in Chicago were a lot higher under Al Capone. Think I'm lying? Go look it up, bitch. The murder rate when the Al Capone years, when they had them Tommy guns, when them other colored people was under this level of oppression, not even under the level of oppression we under now, not even close to the level of oppression. But when you had the bootlegging years, especially during the Depression, what? Man, this murder rate is a motherfucking dream compared to how things was in the times of the Depression. Your mama raised you on spoiled titty milk. You didn't pay attention in school. You just sorry if you got nothing but heat for victims of this system. You just sorry. You just sorry. And your girlfriend look like her name is Douglas. Yeah, it was the Italians and the Irish doing that. Yep. Yeah, them Al Capone drive-bys. What? These niggas be talking about? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of payment failures. Let me see. Okay, now it's good. Okay. They're saying the Cash App is good for him now. Let me try to make my payment again. $, Papa. You are. Let's see here. It's still saying, hey, Cash App, y'all some hoes. Cash App, y'all some hoes. I'm going to keep trying shit. Do not get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. If you can't hit his Cash App, hit the PayPal. Don't let these bullshit ass systems stop us from supporting our brother, all right? Hit that Cash App. Not mine, his. And go to intellectualpower.net. But what we see is wrong with Chicago is you have a city that was targeted for destruction by the powers that be. First, by removing the labor jobs, the skilled labor jobs that could afford someone the opportunity to take care of their family. You remove them from the black people first. You take away the economics from the men. You build these projects and you get the women and the children dependent upon the government throughout the 60s and the 70s and the 50s. Really 60s and 70s and 80s. You get them dependent upon the government. Because they have to depend on the government because guess what? You're not getting hired. At least for these better paying jobs, you ain't. Then the next thing you do is you disrupt the education. The Chicago murder rate went through the roof when they closed all them damn schools down under the Obama administration. And you start to close down the schools. You poison the schools. You poison the education within the schools. You don't use the schools to teach the education that's going to get those youth an opportunity for employment. You sabotage the schools. Hopefully you get these kids hating school, not even wanting to go to school. You sabotage the schools, and then you get them out of the schools. You raise the rent, raise the amount of money. You raise the cost of living. You make it harder on one side of town than you are the other side of town. You use the police as military, basically paramilitary that goes around harassing people and at the same time not solving the murders. Convenient. And with all those things that go into the soup, 10 people are going to die on the weekend because of whatever gang-like that's going on. That's a lot of social engineering for that smaller of a result relative to the fact that all of these black people are put in this catch-22, and a small, minuscule, almost immeasurable amount of people relative to those that are in the city succumb and fall victim and get violent to that. And then you highlight these issues as if these people are the only one. Never mind the fact that all throughout the city, murders is happening every fucking day. White, Asian, Latino. This one group was targeted, but everybody's killing everybody. And it's not only happening in Chicago. It's happening in Milwaukee. It's happening in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's happening in Huntsville, wherever the fuck Huntsville you live in, Alabama, Huntsville, all across the goddamn country. Springfield, no matter which Springfield and which state, every city, every state, every part, every other city we go, every other video, it's a motherfucker getting killed in that city. Because America has more guns than people. But you use your media apparatus to zero in on this one group of people in this one city, while at the same time you telling them you have nothing for them. You got an open door to migrants to get resources and jobs. With a black mayor doing it. Because before this cat, it was Lori Lightfoot. And with all that being done, you gonna get some dickhead ass nigga going around, what's wrong with Chicago? Or some weird ass nigga that wanna go around talking as if you better than the next. Nigga, what's wrong with you? The birth canal you came out of smells like dried oysters. That's what's wrong with you. We gotta think deeper. Hey, Larry, I'll slap you, nigga. Don't compliment me, boy. Yeah, you gotta stop voting for people based on skin color. Hell of a nigga, Lightfoot. You ain't no hell of a nigga. Somebody said, yeah, black folk vote Democrat again. Newsflash. White people vote Democrat too. Everybody votes Democrat. Let's stop acting as if we the only ones that vote Democrat. I got you. Too many of us do vote Democrat. I do agree with you right there, my brother. But them white folks be the main ones voting Democrat because they know they niggas. They can look at that Brandon Johnson dude and be like, oh yeah, that fake mohawk wearing ass nigga, he one of ours. He one of us. Same thing with Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot like the little small head nigga on Beetlejuice. They was like, oh yeah, we got this baggy suit wearing bitch. She one of ours. Yeah, and I'm gonna vote because I'm not racist. Wink, 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 wink. Yeah, Lori Lightfoot was musty through the TV screen. Yeah. But, see. Yeah, it does suck to see Chicago in the state that it is right now. It does. Because what happens to one black man in one city happens to all. It happens to me too. I ain't playing that regional bullshit. Well, that's just Chicago. No, it's LA too. What happens in Memphis affects me in LA. What happens in Miami, Mississippi, goddamn Martha's Vineyard. It happens to me. We got to come together, man, and make sure y'all donate, because Cash App is hating on this Cash App. But make sure y'all hit his PayPal then. If the Cash App don't work, hit the PayPal. If the Cash App don't work, hit the PayPal. Oh, yeah. I'm about to get up out here, but you did make a good point, Eddie Kane. Y'all see Kamala's drunk ass announcement? That shit was funny as fuck. I'm glad we didn't vote for Kamala. Because Chicago, think about it if we voted for Kamala in her immigration policies. You hear what's going on right now. You see what's going on right now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if she got in? How much more hell those brothers and sisters would be under in Chicago? Can you imagine? Let me see if I can find it. That announcement she made today. Let me see if I can put it up. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Y'all see this bullshit before you get up out of here? What the hell is wrong with her? Look. Oh, no. Hold on. It's muted.
Anybody take your power from you.
Listen to this shit.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And
Look
you
at
have
her.
the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
Is she drunk?
I just have to remind you.
Is she drunk? This ain't weed or shrooms. I'm an expert in weed and shrooms, and it ain't that. Is she on ketamine? Is she on Demerol? Like, what the fuck is this?
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
Don't you? Where did this come? Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you? This sounds like that drunk. Like, she's talking like it's 2 a.m. at a dive bar. You ever still be at a dive bar at 2 a.m. knowing good and hell where you should be home?
You have the same power.
Can you imagine being at a dive bar at 2 a.m.? It don't matter that you got fired from your job. It's okay that you got fired. It's okay, Leroy, that you got fired. You got B.B. King playing in the background. You're still a winner, Leroy. You were the best forklift operator ever in the history of Home Depot. They caught you coming to work drunk, Leroy, but I don't care, dude. You were rad. It's okay. Man, I love you, dude. Get this whole crying drunk ass talk out of here. Get this old leatherneck pep talk bullshit out my motherfucking face. Oh, God, you're going to make it. The fuck? Man, whoever allowed her whoever allowed her on camera to do this, the Democrats, oh, this is an official from the Democrat. Y'all set this woman up, boy. Y'all set this woman up. Well, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. It's more of this bullshit going on with this whole Drake Kendrick fallout is so like. We're gonna talk about it more tomorrow because when you see these kind of things, they do have societal implications, and so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Go to Patreon on Sunday. We about to get back to my destruction of black music series because black music, man, this whole Drake situation, when him talking about streaming numbers and all this stuff, this ties into my destruction, how the conspiracy to destroy black music that's been in place since 1971. This all ties into that. So some of the stuff that I've been, if you're not on my Patreon, follow my Patreon, go to my conspiracy to destroy black music series that I have on Patreon. Go to that because in that series, we're talking about a lot of these things that are now being unearthed and talked about with this whole Drake situation. So if you're not on my Patreon, I'm 5 installments into this. You get on it because we have another installment coming pretty soon because this is some bullshit. And then get your Black American Music Family Tree at DewanB.com. This is on sale right now, 15% off. This is 15% off on the website, okay? So if you go there, you don't have to type in the product code, 15% off. My courses on the website, DewanB.com, all of my courses are for sale. All of my courses are for sale. 35% off all of my courses. And relationship counseling, individual mentorship. The packages are all 35%. Even up here, even my relationship courses, they're all 35% off. So those of you who I know, I have 3 relationship clients right now. 3 of y'all that listen on here, and we got a discount if you want to join that. I take limited. I don't do any more. I have 2 more slots open for relationships. I don't do no more than 5 at a time. That's way too much fucking shit on my mind. But I don't do no more than 5 relationship clients at a time. So I have 2 more slots available, and that's at 35% off right now. The Cardology Masterclass, want to learn how to read cards like me, all that good shit. You can do all that right now. And also, I want to remind y'all something. I want to remind y'all something real quick. We're going to be doing a card reading course. I mean, we're going to do some card readings on the next year pretty soon. But this is a screen record of one of my shows that I did earlier this year. What's going on here? This is us talking about, this is what we talking about when I called this year being the year of revelation. Think, clubs represent mental. Listen to this. And then you got a 6 of spades in Venus. That 6 of spades is, that's a lot of emotional disappointments, you know? Because it's in Venus. So what that tells me is it's a lot of people that you niggas believe in that they gonna do some things that's gonna show you maybe you shouldn't believe in these niggas the way you was. And it might break your heart. It's gonna be a lot of people that we love and trust that's gonna show their ass this year. It's gonna be a lot of people that we know and love and trust that they're gonna reveal themselves. They're gonna show themselves to not necessarily be the people that they projected to be to us. And at that point, you're going to have a decision to make. You know what I mean? That point. But that's coming. Emotional disappointments. Not just with people in our day-to-day lives, people in our media, the media we listen to, the sports we watch, the friends we have or thought we had. They're about to show themselves. There's going to be a lot of disappointment in people that you had a little bit of trust and faith in. But at the same time, it's going to be people in your... See, we caught that last year. So people, and that was December 31st last year. Cat Williams had his interview on Club Shay Shay the next week. All right? These cards be letting you know, nigga. The cards be letting you know, homeboy. What was that, Kendall? You said, ask who wants to know where. Oh yeah, whoever wants to know where Papa, where Mr. Byron Burke is, email me, okay? Make sure you email me if you want to reach out to him. I'll make sure to connect y'all. All right, make sure you email me. What's up, Eve? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, it does. It does feel like one is brewing. It does. But yeah, buy that discounted class. You get 35% off my classes and also my relationship. I'm only taking on 2 more relationship clients because I mostly see my relationship clients on Saturdays. I have some mid-weekday slots open. I think I only have one weekday slot open for a relationship client. So if you want to do it, now's the time. As a matter of fact, I really don't even advertise my relationship stuff that much, but I'm doing it right now because holidays can be hard on relationships. I'm probably going to pull my relationship offerings down at some point. Okay. Okay, so... Okay, it looks like the payments. Let me see here. Okay, so here. The Cash App should be working. Everything lowercase. So it's the same as here. I just got to text me. Everything you see here but lowercase. So let me hit pay real quick. There we go. Okay. Let me make sure my payment go through. All right, cool. It went through. Do the same. It went through. It went through. Do the same. And that's just what I'm saying to him today. I'm gonna send him some more. And I'm gonna send him some more money on Black Friday. But do the same Cash App, but all lowercase. They made him set up a business account. I get it. They be bullshitting. So the same Cash App, all lowercase, okay? The same Cash App, all lowercase. All right? So make sure y'all donate to our brother's Cash App. Please, 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 please. All right? Much respect to y'all. And I thank y'all. I thank y'all for donating to that brother's Cash App. That means a lot to me that you do that. That means a whole lot to me. All right? Thank y'all again. But I'm about to get up out of here because I got comedy in the metaverse to do. I got to put these on. I'm about to be in the metaverse clowning niggas with sorry ass avatars. I have a whole nother comedy world in these things. Y'all fucks with me online, but y'all need to fuck with me in this too. On MetaQuest. I got a whole little thing going on over here talking shit. Alright? Y'all be easy. Thanks again for kicking it. And remember this, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Y'all have a good one.